It's not time to plant yet across the region, unfortunately. We'll let you know how cold we're going to get over the next few days and when we can expect a warm up. We'll talk about it in this video. All right, let's dive right in. Happy Tuesday, everyone. Hope you enjoyed your weekend. We had some warmer temperatures around. Those have since been history. It all depends on two things. Sunshine this time of year makes a huge difference because that May sun is just so strong. If we get the clouds, it keeps us cooler. It also depends on wind direction. When that wind is off the lake, as it has been over the last few days and out of the north or the northeast, even northwest, it really makes a difference as well. So we've got a northerly wind right now feeding into the system. We've had the rain around in periods today. You can see the bulk of it now sliding to the south here as of this evening. This will begin to dwindle as the system heads on out, but we're going to stay with the cool conditions as we go through the rest of the evening. Okay, let's take you through time now. Let's go over the next 7 days in terms of the rainfall. You can see the rain that we have right now. This is associated with an area low pressure that's right about here. It's heading south and east, and again, it's fighting that dry air that's trying to move into it, so not expecting a whole lot more in terms of shower activity. And as we go through tonight and tomorrow, you can see that system starts to wrap up out to the east of us. We're left with some sunshine and a pretty quiet day, but it will be cooler around here as we go on into your Wednesday. Now on into Thursday, things start moving in from the north. You can see we've got some of that colder air starting to retreat. It's heading off to the north. That looks like a dog. I could do a puppet show. We can do that instead if you want. But all that heading off to the north. Here comes our next system from the west, though. That will bring in some rain that eventually overspreads the area as we go into Thursday night and Friday. That will drag colder air into it as this low pressure gets going. There'll be a low that forms right in here in the Ohio Valley. That will start to tug at an area of cold air, and I don't just mean cold air. This is the polar vortex literally coming down from the North Pole. A little chunk of it's breaking off and coming south in the eastern U.S. Good news about that, they don't last long this time of year. If that does happen, it's happened in the past. If this were January, we would be talking about probably minus 20, minus 30 degree wind chills outside. But we're not dealing with that. We're dealing with some rain that may mix with snow in spots across the Great Lakes. They may have accumulating wet snow from New York back towards Ohio. That's not going to last too long, though. That's on Friday, and you can see how dry air quickly comes in, but we're left with cold Friday night and Saturday. Now, keep in mind, Friday night, we're going to have some cold temperatures, and in fact, that is what our region weather trivia question revolves around, is the last time that we were in the 20s during the course of the spring. What is the average last date? So why don't we answer that now? Love all your answers on there, but I think I stumped most of you on this. The correct answer for the average last date in the 20s across the region is actually April 11th, so it is long gone. The latest in Valparaiso, records began back in 1998. The latest it's ever happened has been April 27th. So again, records don't go back and capture perhaps some of the Mays in the 70s or 80s that we had temperatures in the 20s in May, but boy, it is rare. So this will be officially the latest. If we get down into the 20s on Friday night, this will be the latest that Valpo's ever seen the 20s since records began back in 1998. So that's still something to be said. And then we start to warm up after that. That's the good news. Okay, so let's talk temperatures, and I'm going to go beyond the weekend with temperatures. We'll go next 7 to 10 days here to take a look because there's good news. There's light at the end of the tunnel. We'll start with tomorrow. These are the projected highs across the region. You can see we're still dealing with that north wind, so lakeshore communities will be cooler. Meanwhile, you get inland, we're going to be in the 60s. Newton, Jasper County, even towards Stark County, up near 60, and again, cooler near the lakeshore. We have a cold night as we go into Thursday morning, but not nearly as cold as Friday and Saturday are going to be. You can see temperatures. I think this is our nicest day is Thursday. Should make it up into the 60s. Pretty nice warming out ahead of that system we were talking about. And then the bottom drops out. There are your high temperatures on Friday, at least projected. Remember, that system's pulling in a chunk of that polar vortex, so we've got highs, I'm going to say 40s. I don't think we'll stay in the 30s, especially with the lake temperatures warming a little bit, so something to keep an eye on. But we're definitely going to be cold on Friday. And here you go, Saturday morning, likely a decent freeze all across northwest Indiana, depending on how much we clear out. And there's where our temperatures could dive back into the upper 20s. This would be like a 29 or 28 degree reading. The model here keeping us at 32, but definitely cold. And then we talk good news. Here's our recovery. This is Saturday, a cool day, but still up into the 50s. This is Sunday. We're now up into the 60s as we get some of that warming. There'll be another system that kind of prevents us from warming too quickly. That'll bring back the 40s and 50s on Monday. But then on Tuesday, we start the warming process again, still in the 50s. Come on, here we go. And then look, we're in the 60s on Wednesday. And if models hold, this is a totally different weather pattern. We bring a big old ridge across the eastern half of the U.S. We've rarely had this. That would be 60s plus on Thursday, maybe even the 70s, and then we'll warm up from there. My model doesn't go much further than this, but it does look like that warmth holds. So hang in there, Northwest Indiana. I think another 7 to 10 days, and we should break this pattern, never to return. Haha. At least we hope so as we go into the latter half of the month. But it does look like, again, a cool start and a warm finish to our extended forecast. Thanks for joining us, and we'll talk to you soon.